I checked into the motel just before midnight. The drive had been long, the road completely empty, and my cell service had vanished miles back. The clerk behind the counter looked half asleep, barely glancing up. He didn't even ask for my ID, just slid a rusty key across the worn-out wood and mumbled, "Room 19. I didn't plan to stay long. I just needed a few hours of sleep before hitting the road again, heading to the city." But the moment I walked into that room, a chill ran down my spine that had nothing to do with the night air. Something felt deeply wrong. The air was thick with the smell of old mold and something else, something burnt. The wallpaper was peeling off in long, curling strips, like old, sunburnt skin. The bed looked untouched, perfectly made, but as my eyes adjusted, I saw it, a faint indent on the pillow, as if someone had just been lying there mere minutes before I arrived. I tried to shake it off. I was tired. My mind was playing tricks. I locked the door, dropped my bag onto the floor, and forced myself to lie down. I just needed to sleep. The first noise came around 2 in the morning. A soft knock on the door. 3 distinct taps, slow, deliberate, careful. I froze, my body rigid, listening to the silence that followed. Then it came again. The same 3 taps, the same unnerving rhythm. I called out, my voice raspy, "Who's there?" Only silence answered. My heart was pounding, but I got up and crept to the door, pressing my eye against the peephole. Nothing. The hallway was empty. All I could see was the lonely hum of a flickering fluorescent light at the far end. Driven by a mix of fear and frustration, I unbolted the lock and opened the door. The hallway was exactly as I'd seen it through the peephole, completely empty. I quickly shut the door, locking it again. The digital clock on the nightstand read 2:03 a.m. I sat on the edge of the bed, telling myself it was just the old building settling, just the wind. Then the phone rang. It was an old rotary phone, a relic sitting on the nightstand, the kind you only see in movies. No one had used one of these in decades. Its shrill ring cut through the silence, making me jump. After a moment of hesitation, I picked up the receiver. A woman's voice whispered, so close it felt like she was in the room with me. "You shouldn't be here." My blood ran cold. "Who is this?" I stammered. Her voice came again, urgent and filled with dread. "Get out. Get out before he comes back." Then the line went dead with a click. I stared at the heavy black phone in my hand. My eyes followed the non-existent cord. It wasn't plugged into anything. It couldn't have rung. I flicked on the main light, needing to flood the room with some sense of reality. That's when my eyes caught it. A small photo frame hanging crookedly on the wall. It showed a family of 3, a man, a woman, and a small child, smiling stiffly for the camera. The woman, she looked familiar, but I couldn't place her. I leaned closer to get a better look. The glass was cracked, a spiderweb of fractures right over her face. As I stared, the same whisper from the phone echoed in my head, "You shouldn't be here." Around 3 in the morning, the power went out. The room plunged into absolute, suffocating darkness. The only light was the faint, ghostly red glow of the numbers on the alarm clock. And then I heard it. Footsteps, slow, heavy, dragging steps coming from the hallway. They grew louder, closer, until they stopped right outside my door. I held my breath. The handle began to turn. Slowly, I fumbled for the flashlight I kept in my bag, my fingers shaking, but it wouldn't turn on. The handle shook more violently now, rattling in its socket. Then a voice, deep and guttural, rumbled through the thin wood of the door. You took my room. Who are you? I shouted, my voice trembling. There was no reply, only the sound of heavy, ragged breathing just on the other side. I scrambled backwards, away from the door, my back hitting the far wall. Then, complete silence. For 10 long, agonizing seconds, there was nothing. Suddenly, the lights flickered back on, blinding me for a moment. I blinked and my heart stopped. The door was wide open. I cautiously stepped into the hallway. It was empty again, except for one thing, a trail of wet, muddy footprints. They led away from my room, down the hall, stopping at room 21. Its door was slightly ajar, against every instinct, against every rational thought screaming at me to run. I followed. The air inside room 21 was colder, thick, with the smell of damp earth and rust. The bathroom door was slightly open, and from behind it, a whisper slithered out. Why did you come back? With a surge of adrenaline, I shoved the door open. The bathroom was empty, but the mirror was fogged over with condensation, and written in the steam, as if by a finger, were 3 words: you were here. I stumbled back, my heart hammering against my ribs. My gaze fell to the bathtub. The same family photo from my room was floating in the dark, murky water. The man, the woman, the child. But now, their faces had been violently scratched out. The lights cut out again. The darkness this time felt heavier, more absolute. When they flickered back to life, I wasn't in room 21 anymore. I was back in room 19, lying on the same bed, breathing the same stale air, but the door was gone. There was only a solid, wallpapered wall where it used to be. The window was gone too. Everything was sealed. I was entombed. My frantic eyes found the clock. It read 2:00 a.m. again, and then the phone rang. I picked it up, my hand moving on its own. It was the same woman's voice. Only this time, she said something different. You never left. Morning never came for me. They found my car outside the motel 3 days later. The keys were still in the ignition, the driver's side door left wide open. The staff said room 19 was locked from the inside. When they finally broke the door down, there was no one there. The room was pristine. The bed was perfectly made. But there was one new thing, a single photo frame hanging on the wall. A family of 3. And standing just behind them, smiling into the camera, was me.